Welcome back to Out of Breath Sports and More. And like I told you, we're coming back with part two of the other dream team, the extraordinary story of the Olympic basketball team. I still can't pronounce their name. But if you're new to the channel, it's your boy DT No De Niro, and this is DT Reacts. This is a fan favorite. They asked me check out this video. Actually, this is the person right here. Shout out to you. Thank you for your donation. I appreciate you again. Like I told you already in the comments of part one. I hope you enjoy the video as well because I have been enjoying it. If you want to get caught up just a little bit, basically we're getting the backstory of who these gentlemen are that played in the Olympics that made the biggest difference. Apparently they're going to end up playing against the USA Dream Team, but as of right now, they're telling their backstory. And so far, I've been fascinated with the fact of the matter of how people of oppression can use sports as motivation to get out of the struggle. That's what I basically took out of it. And it reminds me so much of being African American. It reminds me of the struggle some of my ancestors had to go through as well. I know this is not about that, but that's why I'm saying I can relate to the story and why I'm interested in it. I don't know why you're personally interested in it, but this intro is extremely too long. Let's get into the video. I know it's about 30 minutes, so I apologize now. Make sure you hit the like button, notification bell on, and also hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet.
Dabar jeigu kas nors iš mūsų sakys, kad jisai taip nedarė, ar nepirko, ar mes jam buvome labai angeliukai visi.
Valis galėjo dvigubai starpinti visko, ką aš sudėčiau, tas dvigubai galėtų prikišti daugiau.
Nu, čia kaip tu daugiau įdėsi, negu gali.
Sakant, pas jį buvo labai gera dėjimo technika, stačių dėjimo technika.
Vat aš apie jį ir turėjau mintyse, kai jisai perbėgdavo parduotuvės ir ateidavo pusę valandos prieš varžybas, visas jau sušilęs, jam apšilimo daryti nereikėdavo.
Labai juokingai skamba viskas tas, bet užgauni 60 rublių ir reikėdavo gyventi ten 2-3 žmonėm, tai praktiškai gale mėnesio nieko nelikdavo. Tai kaip gyvenimas diktavo, tai mes ir darėm.
Lithuania is an example of what happens when a small country is caught between big powers. It is a lesson on how people struggle to preserve their national identity, their culture and language. That has been Lithuania's history, and it appears to be its destiny. A popular tradition today is basketball. It is sport number 1 in Lithuania, and when a local team plays visiting Russians, the rivalry takes on a special edge.
CSKA tai buvo centrinis armijos sporto klubas, kur buvo iš visos Tarybų sąjungos, Sovietų sąjungos surenkami geriausi žaidėjai ir tai buvo Sovietų sąjungos rinktinės pagrindas, išskyrus lietuvius.
The Red Army team, right there in the name, it's all there. I mean, it's the army of the Soviet Union, based in Moscow, which had essentially annexed Lithuania. And the name Žalgiris refers to the great knights of the old Lithuania.
Ten, jeigu žaisdavo Kauno Žalgiris ir centrinis armijos sporto klubas, tai galima išeiti į Kauno, pavyzdžiui, gatves buvo ir ten ne vieno žmogaus nesutiksi, reiškia, praktiškai tik tai galbūt tenai kokie turistai ir panašiai. Visi būdavo prie televizijos ekrano arba, sakysim, Kauno sporto halėje.
Aišku, įkasti jam, kadangi jų gavosi tokia kaip sąjungos rinktinė beveik, kadangi surinkdavo iš visos Tarybų sąjungos, žinai, o mes tokie vieni lietuviukai čia, ką užsiauginę, kaip sakyti. Aišku, tas pavirto kaip ir į kažkokį tai tokį pogrindinį, kaip sakyti, politinį žaismą, žinai, o įkandimas dideliam ten, sakysim, kažkokiai meškai, žinai, ten įkasti, nežinau, į Achilą, kaip pavyzdys, žinai.
Nu, CSKA tikas, tai čia jau, žinot, jau prasidėjo tokia slapta politika, nes nenugalimoji Raudonoji armija negali pralaimėti.
I remember before final games, some generals from army, they come to meeting and said, guys, it's not just simple games, it's a political games.
Volkas meta, Sabonis nesugeba, nesakau, Sabonis 3 taškus pelno Volkovas, paskutinės sekundės, baigėsi antrasis kėlinys.
Žalgiris represent kind of independent Lithuania movement. It's more than basketball, it's a political thing. We're Army Club, we cannot lose to Žalgiris.
Paskutinės sekundės eiti sirena, taigi su puikia pergalė gerbimiai sporto mėgėjai. 93-83 rungtynes laimėjo žalgiriečiai, kurie trečią kartą iš eilės tapo šalies čempionais.
Tai va tuo metu mes parodėm Tarybų sąjungą, kurioje gyvena 200 milijonų žmonių ir mūsų Lietuva, kurioje gyvena 3 milijonai žmonių, mes sugebėjom nukauti visą Tarybų sąjungą, būdami tik tai lietuvišką komandą.
This was not only the pride, that was the open war. We are not going to accept, no way, no time, ever, the occupation of Lithuania. And we are fighting the enemy, not in a field with the explosives, bombs, machine guns or planes, but we are fighting them on a basketball course.
Šitos pergalės buvo tokie, sakysim, pirmi žingsniai, įrodymai, stengimasis, kad mes galim būti stipresni už kur kas galingesnę valstybę.
Tikrai žmonės tais laikais tyliai kalbėdavo, kad va, čia Žalgiris, tai yra tarsi šviesulys jų gyvenime, kad vat, per sportą mes parodom ir savo jėgas. Aišku, mes to atvirai niekadagi nesakydavome, bet aš pasakiau, ką turėjau širdį ir kaip mes jautėme.
For the first pick in the 1986 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Brad Daugherty of the University of North Carolina, Chuck Person of Auburn, John Sally of Georgia Tech. For the last pick of the first round of the NBA draft, America's game, the Portland Trailblazers select Arvydas Sabonis of the Soviet Union.
Oh, well, now that's going to be an interesting selection.
Good night, nurse. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Well, I can't spell it. I can't pronounce it.
Mane draftavo 85 ar paskui 86, suprantu, perdraftavo, sakysim, man jokio jausmo nebuvo, aš net.
The thing that I'd like to talk about is that Sabonis, because this guy right now is one of the top 3 or 4 centers in the world.
What about getting him out?
That is the problem. We are talking to some people who are talking to people. There's been nothing really very strong. I suspect it'll have to be on the political level, on the diplomatic level, before anything ever would take place.
Ir kas, kad draftuotas, kas iš to. Kad ten įsivaizdavai, kad ten jo tave nupirko, suprantate, ar ta komanda ir viskas, žinai, kur tu žinoji viduj, kad ten šansų nėra nuvažiuoti, nu, tai norit nuvažiuoti reikia labai daug visko, kaip sakyt, kirvių perkirti, suprantate.
With the Wizards. See you at 3 o'clock today. Okay. Bring your A game. So bring your A game.
Non più andrei farfallone amoroso, notte e giorno intorno girando, nelle mele turbando il riposo, Narcisetto addolcino d'amor.
Jonas is a little bit of a mystery in this draft. The talent-wise, I think he can end up being the best player in this draft. What time he comes to the NBA and when that talent begins to blossom, that's up for debate.
Exciting time for me, man. Only a rookie one time.
You only get drafted one time. So might as well enjoy it.
Did either of them ever play basketball?
My father played basketball when he was young, but my father is roller. Roller.
A rower? Oh, really?
My father told me, if you choose roller, you will be a good roller.
Oh, so, easy, right?
Yeah, he told me, come on.
The camp can be pretty intimidating because these guys know that their future depends on what the people in the room think.
Aš manau, tikrai yra gerai, kai tu susitinki taip akis į akis. Su visais vyko gražus pokalbis.
The dollar amount between being a second pick in the draft and the 20th is millions of dollars. So there's a lot at stake.
There's question marks about how ready he is, and we're never going to know for sure. He's a risk.
The Soviet National Olympic Committee has announced it considers impossible the participation of Soviet athletes in the 23rd Olympic Games in Los Angeles. With total connivance of U.S. authorities, extremist organizations have sharply stepped up their activity, aiming to create unbearable conditions for Soviet athletes.
Supranti, 84 nugarmėja politiniais reikalais, supranti. Ir atrodė, kad, jeigu jau iš šitą nenuvažiuosiu, žinai, tai daugiau jau kaip ir viskas, supranti. Žinant, kad vieną kartą tik Amerika buvo pralošus, žinai, tai ten, aišku, norai dideli, bet viduj vis tiek kažkaip sunku, kad tą suprast.
Tai Gomelskis mums tuo metu tokią motivaciją kaip ir padavė iš kitos pusės.
Ir aišku, kadangi mes vis laik galvom, kad ir norėjom išvažiuoti kažkur tai pabandyti į save užsienyje, tai tokia buvo idėja, sakom, o jūs ar paleistumėte mus, ar padėtumėt mums išvažiuoti į kitą šalį žaisti?
Gomelskis yra pasakęs, taip yra pasakęs ir tai mus motyvavo taip pat, kad jeigu šitą mes laimėsim, mes eisim olimpiadą, jis padės mums išvažiuoti iš šalies.
Reiškia, tie, kurie atidavė visą savo jėgas Sovietų Sąjungos rinktiniai, jiems bus sudarytos sąlygos išvažiuoti legaliai žaisti užsienį.
Mes užsitarnavę būsim jau išvažiavimą.
Treneris Gomelskis, žinai, toks, kaip sakyt, organizatorius geras, žinai, psichologas geras.
Tuo metu mes turėjom, galiu net išvardyti, 4 lietuvius, 1 Latvį, 1 Estą, Kazachą, 3 ukrainiečius, 2 rusus. Tokia mūsų buvo rinktinė. Ir visos šitos mes buvom kaip vienas kumštis.
Going into the Olympics, we were feeling pretty good. We practiced hard, we were well-conditioned, well-trained to get out there and play.
We were definitely confident. We felt that we had a good team. We never played against Sabonis, but we'd heard about this guy so long that he should have been over into the NBA. But I guess, they wouldn't let him come.
And now let's take a look at the starting lineups.
Ten tikrai nelabai tikėjom, kad mes galim juos įveikti, vaikšto vyriokai ten. Ir tai Gomelskis turbūt buvo prieėjęs prie kiekvieno po kokius 3-4 kartus ir tas įtikinėjimas, kad mes stipresni, mes geresni.
They built this Russian team to actually compete with the NBA, compete with all the best players in the league. So they were fighting for something and we were fighting for something.
In my mind's eye, I see kind of the middle of the floor. I see the ball sailing over the midcourt and Kurtinaitis getting it and stopping and popping.
He can shoot. I told you, folks, he can shoot.
The Soviet Union played a much more appealing game of basketball. They were the ones that were up and down. They were the ones that were controlling the tempo. They were the ones that were passing that ball and hitting the open shots.
Sabonis was a catalyst, just tossing the ball, them knocking down jumpers, and every time it seemed like when we got close, they'd make a big play, and we just couldn't get over the hump.
5 minutes to go, and Marciulionis drops at the other end.
You can tell that they had it in their eyes, that they were ready to play, and they felt that they could play with us.
And here's the frosting for the USSR. They win it 82-76.
There's no reason to make any excuses. They just outplayed us, and they were the better team.
Kad daugumą sudaro lietuviai tos komandos. Tai iš tikrųjų Lietuva laimėjo Sovietų Sąjungai tą medalį, bet, reiškia, jos vardo nėra. Ir tai čia buvo dar viena tokia neteisybė, kurią reikėjo ištaisyti kovo 11.
Glasnost means openness. It also means something spoken publicly rather than whispered. Both meanings symbolize the changes that are now sweeping Soviet life.
There is the feeling Soviet sports officials are close to allowing some of their great athletes to play in America. It is not something those officials want to do, but in this clash of capitalism and socialism, money is
agent signing just like you would any American player or European player. The difference was he was behind the Iron Curtain. They just told us you can't have a conversation inside Shrunus' apartment because it's bugged. So never did we ever talk about anything inside the apartment. After a while, he told me, opened up, he said, you know, by me walking around with you in public, a Westerner, an American, people associate that with money, and I'm putting myself in danger.
Exposure to Western lifestyle is what Soviet sports bosses worry about. They have watched the enormously popular Garry Kasparov, world chess champion, thumb his nose at the sports establishment.
Daugiausia tai konsultacija su Gariu Kasparovu ir jo juristais.
I used all opportunities given by the Glasnost and Perestroika for my fight.
Kasparov comes and goes as he wants, one of the only Soviets who can. Other sporting chiefs will be very slow to allow their athletes his kind of freedom.
We were with Garry Kasparov the night before Shrunus was going to basically take on the establishment. Shrunus knew the odds, and he was doing something that could cost him his career. And Garry said right there to his face, he said, Shrunus, tomorrow you're going to be one of the richest men in our country, free to pursue your professional dream, or you're going to be in Siberia.
I remember walking in, I guess it would have been sports ministry in Vilnius, and I never saw Shrunus so nervous in my life. The 5 Americans sat at one side of the table, and there must have been 15 to 20 Lithuanians representing all different parts of Lithuanian government, the sports ministry, all the teams they played on, all there really to say, what part of this do I get if Shrunus goes to the NBA?
Buvo daug nervų kainavo, tai buvo labai įtempta situacija buvo, nes visi norėjo pinigų.
I just remember seeing him. He never looked up. He looked down at the floor the whole time. And when we walked out, he kind of grabbed my arm and he said, wouldn't it be nice, this is my life, if I could make the decision, but you see where I am, you know? And I'll never, ever, ever forget that.
Turbūt nenorėjau būti kaip ir šachmatų figūra, kur dėlioja Goskomsportas su Tedu Turneriu.
Šarūnas rolled the dice, and he basically read the tea leaves and said, the country's fallen apart right now. If I act as an individual and sign my own deal, kicking back nothing to the Soviet sports machine that helped train me, but sign my own deal with Golden State, I'm going to gamble that they're not going to come in and void it or put me in prison or do anything to keep it from happening. And sure enough, he read it right.
The Golden State Warriors of the National Basketball Association today signed Šarūnas Maršalainis of the Soviet Union to a 3-year contract. Maršalainis, the leading scorer for his Olympic gold medal winning team, is the first Soviet to sign with the NBA.
Atvažiavai jau išskristi iš Maskvos, išskristi jau šitą į New Yorką ir 11 valandą bilietų nėra. Atvažiavo bilietai, tada jau gali galvoti, kad reikia davaryti iki oro uosto. Irgi dar kelionė yra iš ryto. Dar kažkas gali atsitikti. Tai, kad tik lėktuvę atsisėdau, tada jau pajutau, kad jau kelionė prasidėjo į kitą gyvenimą.
All of a sudden I heard that Šarūnas would be coming to the Golden State Warriors. I mean, this guy just beat us in the Olympics. Still with some bad blood there, no doubt. But I knew that he can play, he can help our team.
I think when he first got here, you mean that I can buy that car right now and I don't have to wait in line?
When he first went to shop in Safeway, that there was no rations on the vegetables and the fruits. And then he started crying. You know, little by little, you started reading or hearing stories about where he was coming from, what he was coming from.
Ta gyvenimo, imkim, pagal mūsų prabanga gyvenimo, vis tiek tai yra prabanga ir šeimai buvo tam tikras, vis tiek yra kultūrinis šokas, jis turi būti, jis be jo neapsieis.
In 1989, when Šarūnas came to the Warriors, my perception of a European player was pretty much a spot-up shooter, strictly role player, not very creative. Šarūnas broke that impression by being an all-around player, more of a scorer than a shooter. I think to this day, I mean, I haven't played with a player physically as strong as him at any position.
Suddenly one morning I'm picking up Chicago Tribune and look at the sports section, and here I read, in NBA player, Russian, Šarūnas Marčiulionis played so and so. That definitely, my high pressure jumped immediately.
Sovietų spauda rašė, kadangi aš važiavau dar būdamas kaip ir priklausomas Lietuvos žaidėjas. Ir tai, aišku, buvo didžiulė atsakomybė už šitą, kaip ir krepšinį, ir Lietuvos ir Sąjungos krepšinį buvo atsakomybė didžiulė. Ir tai tiek, kad aš iš karto deklaravau, kad aš esu lietuvis.
When Šarūnas came here, I used to say to people, read the sports pages, you'll learn a lot. Everyone thought, oh, he's Russian. I'm not Russian, I'm Lithuanian. I don't want to answer your questions in Russian. Talk to me in Lithuanian. I mean, it was just interesting. So the sports became a barometer for how people were thinking, what was happening.
Mikhail Gorbachev starts to give signals that it was all right for there to be a degree of regional autonomy. He had to widen the area of freedoms.
When Gorbachev started with his perestroika, I knew that this is the beginning.
Daug buvo daroma įvairių sprendimus, kuriamos naujos institucijos su aiškia orientacija į būsimą valstybę.
This is the will of our people to be an independent nation.
Niekas ten iš Maskvos nelaimino, Sąjūdžio pagrindinis klausimas ir buvo politinės laisvės, žmonių ir tautos teisė pasirinkti, kaip jie nori gyventi.
Lithuania's push toward freedom, toward independence, was in its way as essential as the push against the Berlin Wall and the fracturing of that wall.
Ir nuo šiol Lietuva vėl yra nepriklausoma valstybė.
The independence flag is flying all over Lithuania.
Mes buvom tie, kurie norim kalbėtis, kurie norim dialogo, norim susitarimo, mes nenorim jokių konfliktų.
Good evening. Mikhail Gorbachev and Lithuania. Tonight they continue their high-stakes poker game, each trying to decide if the other is bluffing.
Gorbačiovo kompanija sakė, ne, kad mes niekada negausim nepriklausomybės, nes Sovietų Sąjunga neleis. Ir mums praneša mūsų žvalgyba, kad atidarė šiaurės miestelio vartus ir išvažiuoja sunkioji technika. Reiškia, prieš mus išvažiuoja. Ir patys kai ką matėm, pro langus naktį šviesos ir garsas, griausmas. Tankai važiuoja. Ir šaudinami jau, kažkokie šaudimai buvo. Paskui sužinom, kad jie važiuoja ten, reiškia, prospektu į kalną. Reiškia, važiuoja kitur, važiuoja į televiziją.
The TV announcer was saying, the Russians are surrounding the TV station and TV building. They showed the Russian soldiers going through all the corridors and everything else. And then all of a sudden, boom, and that was it.
Ir pranešimai pradėjo tie telefonų, kad jau yra užmuštų žmonių, kad jie žudo žmonės. Bandžiau susiskambinti. Skambinau į Ameriką, kaip tie mane nesisekė, gal ten netokius numerius turėjau. Į Maskvą, Gorbačiovui, man to kontakto nedavė. Pasakė, kad jis miega, kai čia jau kanonados ėjo. Aišku, tai melavo jie. Prisiskambinau Jelcinui ir jisai po to iš karto paskambino Gorbačiovui. Gorbačiovas nemiegoja. Jelcinas jam pasakė, baig šitą bjaurastį, reiškia. Mėly žmonės, tikriausiai netenkame televizijos ir radijo. Aš buvau paruošęs tam tikrą instrukciją, filmuotą. tam atveju, jeigu mus sunaikins, jeigu ir manęs, ir kitų mes nebūsim gyvi arba būsim išvežti į kokius nors kalėjimus, kad tas įrašas galėtų būti leidžiamas žmonėms, kaip reikia elgtis, reikia nebendradarbiauti su okupantais, nepripažinti jokių jų įstatymų, tegu jie maždaug daro, ką nori, bet mes jų nepriimam.
Na, tuo metu aš žaidžiau vakarų Vokietijoje. Buvo netgi tokia atskira programa, kur viską rodė, ir kaip tankai važiavo, kaip žmonės stovėjo, kaip juos mušė, kaip jie žuvo. Tai viską mes tą matėm ir tikrai, na, virpėjo širdis, kad mes negalim būti tenais.
The deadly crackdown brought forth images of Beijing's Tiananmen or Prague 68 in its swiftness and disregard for civilian lives.
Well, I've been following the situation in Lithuania and the other Baltic states closely. The turn of events there is deeply disturbing.
And I think we should recognize Lithuania and recognize it now.
On that note, y'all, I'm gonna pause it right there. This part 2 of the video. I'm speechless for words with the different fluster of emotions that I've gotten from just this 30 minutes of this part of the video. I know the first part of the video, we basically got to learn who these people were. Some of the story and the history of Lithuania. I told you I was going to get the name right by the time to end the video. But this part of the video, they gave us more of what was going on in present time. And just off that alone, man, watching the people have to go through what they went through after they thought that their country was going to get a little bit of leniency from the occupators, and then them coming back and trying to basically just backstabbing them and misleading them. That's messed up. Watching all of those people peacefully protest, and all of that is being recorded too. That was just messed up, like on a whole other level. And you start to understand why some of the men in the first part of the video said the things they said when they said they were traveling for the Olympics, and if they didn't represent the country right, they were fearful for what the people might do to them. That's what they were going to do to them. And that is extremely scary, you know. I'm fortunate enough to not be in that situation, but I can only imagine how it would feel for me personally if that happened to me. But that part of the video is what led, that part of the video definitely affected me. I definitely started to think. I was kind of sad. I was big sad, not kind of sad. I was actually very sad. It made me do a lot of thinking about myself, gratitude, and stuff like that. But like I said all the time, everything's not always bad. There were some good parts about the video as well that I have to highlight. The fact of the matter is that Marciulionis was the first Lithuanian to go play for the Golden State Warriors to make a difference. He stood up for his country. When they asked him how did he feel about Russia and so on and so forth, he spoke up and said, "I'm not Russian. I'm not from Moscow. Don't speak to me in Russian. Speak to me in Lithuanian." That right there made me happy. Watching them people get their independence, that made me extremely happy. Watching them beat the Dream Team, I mean not the Dream Team, but the USA team. I shouldn't be happy for it, but unfortunately I'm rooting for these people in this story. I'm rooting for y'all, and I'm happy for y'all. I'm happy that y'all won. Y'all have a real story. Your country has been occupied. Your people have been oppressed by someone else, murdered, and just so many other things that probably can be spoken of that we don't want to think of that happens to people and that are oppressed. Just all of the things, the lack of food, it's just so much things, just so much. That all of that, and y'all use that as motivation to come out on top. That right there is a beautiful story. I can't wait for the last part of this video. And if you've been keeping up this far, I'm pretty sure you can't wait for the last part of the video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, same notification bell on that way you don't miss out on the last and final part of the video. Maybe we get to see these guys play against the Larry Bird and everybody else in the NBA after they already beat, I guess that was like the NBA USA team, like the second team. Maybe it was like the bench warmers, I don't know. But all I know is that when dude went to the Golden State Warriors, he was getting buckets. And he tough. He was getting nasty. He came up, went up with the left. Hey, he was going crazy. Hey, there was a lot of bad things that happened in this video. And like I said, I had a fluster of emotions. But overall, in general, I definitely enjoyed this video. Shout out to you again for telling me to check this video out. I appreciate it. This was a great video, and I can't wait for part 3. I know you can't wait for part 3. But it's your boy D-Tango De Niro. Like I said, there's no point for the outro to be long. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, put the notification bell on. Peace. Let's get it. You complete me, but I might be fool. In my world, dreams come true. I can't grow without you.